Y'all know who y'all rocking with. It's your boy Rocky.
And your girl Mel.
My beautiful wife, Mel.
We here with a new podcast topic for you guys.
Yep, you here with the new dope podcast, Freedom Talk podcast, where we are free to talk however the F we want. Today we got a list of some topics.
Yeah.
How was your day? How was your day before we get into that? We gotta see how the queen is doing. How was your day?
It's Friday. It's a great day. It's never bad when it's Friday.
Nice. It's raining out here in New York.
For real? I was indoors all day, guys, so I got to chill.
She's always getting to chill. We don't know where y'all at, but drop a comment and let us know where y'all pulling up from. We in New York in a little rainy city.
Give us some love.
Definitely hit that subscribe button. It's the only way this thing gonna keep going if y'all show us a little love and we'll show it back. Alright, let's get into today's show.
Today's show, we want to talk about the twin flame energy.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, I feel like around this time, if you aren't aware of it, after 2020, during the pandemic, a huge energy came upon the earth, and a lot of people woke up and start,
Prepping for the ascension.
yeah, and getting to know their true self and open to questions that they wasn't aware of before. So it was a beautiful time for people to become their true self.
Yes.
And during Twin Flames, for me and my husband, we was able to experience that on a heightened, energy, because
it was a lot. It was a whole lot, right? All right, so what my wife is getting at, right? I'm going to break it down. For those of y'all who are familiar with the Bible, they say around Revelations, well, I come from a Muslim background. My wife comes from a Christian background. And together we come from a background that know a little bit of knowledge. You feel me? And so me learning little bits and pieces of the Bible from my wife, she informed me around this time was like Revelations, where the Holy Spirit was going to come back to earth.
Yeah.
And from there, things was going to change, and God was going to show his army and wake his army up. Those of us who have the seal, right, from the Father, from the
Son, and
from the Spirit, yeah. And this was God's children, his army, and those that was shown grace to rise up.
Right.
And so for us to throw that all in a metaphor, right, during 2020, they kept us in the house for a reason. They came out with, we all know the word with the C, and a lot of people got scared. A lot of people got put in the house. A lot of people succumbed to any underlying issue that their body might have had going on.
Right.
We lost a lot of people during that time.
We did. And to the point where it became such a deception of time, because the people that are in control of us, like the government, the elites, the ones that run the money, they were aware that what was about to come, but they didn't know how it was going to come.
Yes.
So they're thinking like how we are, like something's going to be obvious, everybody's going to see it. Yeah. They're trying to stop us from seeing what God was going to give to us.
Yeah.
In that scenario, it was the trickery, because all that did was kick up what we needed to have, what we was forced to do anyway.
Yeah.
Which was start asking questions.
Yeah.
You understand?
Start speaking out.
If it was that easy for the government to just shut us down and nobody could work and make money anymore, where are we living for? Like, what are we living for at this point? They could just ruin our life in the trick of a dime.
I think COVID woke a lot of people up, man, and
yeah.
Just and like they state, we always forget about the middle class. A lot of attention get put on the lower class and the rich, right? But a lot of people don't pay attention to the middle class, because these are the people who's gonna get hit the hardest. Meaning they're not rich, and they are just above being check to
important.
check, right?
Yes, because so they can't get any resources.
Yes, so, and these are the people who have gambled their money in certain things and really needed they paychecks. They really needed what they was working for.
They were not
And so
there.
a
They
lot of
lost
them
the
crumbled.
most.
A lot of them crumbled. A lot of them crumbled. And now we are seeing where this twin flame, right? Those of us who came down here to be God's light workers, who just signed up to take the abuse that we went through in our younger years, transform it into a certain type of drive that this world needed to see or hear to change.
Right. It was in that moment when I was able to download and take in a whole new scenario in life, because I came from a household that was sheltered, but yet I still had trauma.
Yeah.
And so in that we both wanted to understand, like, okay, if you could go through this in your life and I could be in this in my life, why did we align to come together?
Yeah.
In other worlds that wouldn't be. But because we learned how to tap in and listen to the higher spirit, our higher selves, we only was able to come together during the right time.
Yes. The right time that we needed to come to.
Right.
And a lot of people think when you come together with your twin flame that everything is going to align and connect. No. No, baby. When you come together with your twin flame, you are coming together with either your higher self or your lower self.
Yeah.
And, judging from you and judging from the mistakes you made, you can only accept any mistakes that this person may come to. Any traumas, any everything.
Tribulations.
Everything.
You mirror each other.
Down to the T.
That's the beauty of it, because you can either be ready to face your real self and go through it with your partner, because at the end of the day, the bond is so strong, you're not able to walk away from this person. So you want to make it work with that person. It breaks down all that exterior you've been walking around with,
that
like
ego
that you used on your ex or your the partners before. You realize you can't do the same thing with this person. So it makes you think, what's different about them? And as you go along, you start meditating. And you start seeing magic with manifestation happen quicker. It's just so much proof to help you and your partner push a little further.
Yes.
And then the harsh attacks that we go through, that makes you just want to give up.
Yeah.
You be like, well, what was that all for?
Yeah. And
then we see the lesson of
it. When you start seeing them harsh attacks, that's when you know you're getting close. When it feel like everything and everybody in the world don't want y'all two together, that is not for no reason. Nothing in this world happened for no reason. Right. So when you see the universe trying to pull a web between these two, understand how much you, not at the point that y'all are, but the healed you and your partner. Imagine how far y'all can go. What kind of things y'all can create. Me and my wife, we are creators. We sit here having conversations for 5 hours, just creating things, and that's what what the enemy don't want. He don't want that. He don't want a generation of creators that could come through and pass this message on in ways that the other ones couldn't.
Exactly. You know what I mean? They're throwing out so much of the opposite in social media and on our TikTok, on our apps, where you really don't see relationships doing well. People are entertained off of toxic relationships to the point where they're forgetting that there's actually people out here that's working beautifully together. Can we actually glorify that for a second and see what that's about again? Because it's becoming so in our face, like It's
What
a
they don't
joke
want us
to
to
be
be.
in a
Yeah.
marriage, you know.
Yep. What they don't want us to be is right
Yes,
in our
it's
face.
so they
Yep.
could, so they we could never see our potential when you become with in union with your yin and your yang, your
Yes.
masculine or feminine. They don't want us to see how powerful we can be together when we're working together.
Yes. I believe like these narratives that they got out there, where they push the female to be more independent, and they push the guy to be more F you, I'ma do this.
Yep.
Nah, there you have your physical body, but then you have your light body. And what us light workers come down to earth is we came down to earth to find our light body and to start getting it in with these giants, these demons, whatever you call it, and we all have a light body. You're gonna find your yin to your yang or your yang to your yin, and with that you have your full battery. You have your positive and you have your negative. Negative isn't always negative when it comes to situations that call for it. Everybody have a role to play, just like you have a role to play. Just like when you're having a baby, right? It takes two beings to have a baby. That means it takes two beings to create life, and you could create life out of anything on this earth. You could create life out of a lesson that you taught. You understand? You could create these manifestations. So I feel like they lie to us a lot.
They want us to be deceived of what we're naturally supposed to be, so that we can't figure it out. You know, they want us to all feel like, oh, true love, that's in the movies, that's fantasies.
Yeah.
If that was so, why is it able to be, conquered? Why do you see it happen for the next person?
Yeah.
It's not that you can't obtain love. It's that you're not speaking for it. You're hiding from. You're probably more fearful of it actually happening because or you convince yourself that you're gonna mess it up, or you know in the past you made so much mistakes you feel like you're not gonna be wanted because you feel like you're baggage. You know what I'm saying?
Like
so a lot of the things we're doing is caused from ourselves.
What is your biggest fear of being in love?
Well, my biggest fear is that a man could up and leave whenever he wants.
I get that.
After all the bedroom talk that we've been through and stuff.
I get that. I like that.
Yeah.
That's scary.
It is. Because, at the end of the day, all a woman wants is to be secure in who she's with, because she got a lot that she wants to do and she wants to depend on it. She knows she can't do it on her own. But in the time that she's in, everybody's in like this me energy where they're selfish and they can't think about anybody else but themselves.
That's a fact. I agree. So we're gonna get back to the part to the topic at hand, right? And why I believe that it's necessary for you to find your twin flame. A lot of people out here can find success without finding a twin flame. You can find all the success in the world, but it depends on what you call success. If you define success by the definition that this reality or matrix that we are in now, and I mean that in a way of saying we aren't in our natural habitat. Yes, this is God's earth and his trees and all that, but everything around us have been tampered with to keep us in a certain state or a certain vibration or a certain frequency. And so I believe that we all can get out of here and find our twin flame. And while I know it's necessary to find your other half, because there isn't no battery that run with just negative or run with just positive. And when God created us, I believe he said, hey, I have an Adam, and for this Adam I need an Eve. If God wanted man to be alone by himself, he would have just created Adam and let Adam do what he do out here.
There you go.
No, he actually created him with a partner. So I believe we need to find that.
Yeah, and I want people to know that this is for people that already feel it. If you already have it in your mindset that you don't need nobody, you want nobody, okay, nobody's trying to force you or push a belief on you.
Yeah.
We talking to the ones that feel inside that that person is out there. You know, they just been hurt a little bit. They want love.
And they on their spiritual journey.
Yeah, this is for those ones because everyone in their spiritual journey is on their certain level.
Yes.
And when you get to a certain level, that's when God gives you that blessing and you're ready for it.
Yes.
So now when you know, okay, I'm in my life where I'm now ready to get married and you have to speak yourself to doing this. You have to be ready. You have to manifest. This is what we mean about meditation, manifesting. You have to be in your mindset with God and tell him what you're ready for. This is what you want. And then he gonna give it to you, babe. And he gonna give it to you when he know you're ready for it. Because that's not saying you tell him he gonna just do it.
Yeah, he do it, yes. Like yeah, no, never like that. I learned about manifestations, right? It come when you need it, right? I promise you. If you have been on this spiritual journey as long as me, you know God don't come when you always want him to come on some right now. Right. Nah, he got this whole world and other worlds to worry about. So he gonna get to you when he know you can't take no more. But dealing with God, and I had to tell my wife this the other day, dealing with God, you're not always gonna have the best of the best or the most money. Sometimes dealing with God, you're gonna be poor because he wants you to affect these people and not these people. These people is already gone. They picked their devil. Nah, he needs you in the slums with the people who's trying to hold on, but just need a message or just need a sign that God is real for them to keep holding on.
It's like that's within you that's needed. It's true. It's true. Your twin flame is very obtainable. Yes. And when you get them, they're going to make you see yourself in the best ways and the worst ways.
Yes.
And it's for your growth of spirituality, elevation to get higher in ascensions.
This is what I see, right? When you find your twin flame, and she or he is your match, and y'all are constantly butting heads and all that, all y'all truly are is butting heads to tell the other one, hey, you need to be better, you need to treat me better, protect me better, provide for me better, and vice versa. Hey, you need to love me better, support me better. And nothing's wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with your partner coming to you and saying, hey, I want you to be better. I need you to be better for me. And vice versa. And once y'all push each other to that better mark, and y'all both are in high vibration and not creating negative energy on the earth, only positive, oh my God.
Yeah, take off, baby.
Y'all gonna be magical, I promise you that. That's when the transformer thing come into play. Right. Where two beings create that big one being and y'all Optimus Prime together.
That's right. The
transformers
of it all. And I love that for the twin flame topic. So, stick in with us. We got some more things to talk about, guys. Because I know wherever you are, sleeping, driving your car, take care of your
some
kids.
Going to work.
We got some more topics.
Some going to pay the bills.
Yeah, we want to talk to you guys.
Well, we got topic number 2. Talk to them.
Okay, so we noticed that there's been a whole big conspiracy about underground tunnels in cities. And people are discovering them like they're the tombs of Egypt.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Baby, we got to talk. We're trying to walk on them.
Yeah, okay. First, the Denmark airport.
Denver airport.
Denver.
Yeah, the Denver airport.
My fault. So yeah, the Denver airport has been like the scene of
the new hot spot.
Yeah, people are going there, getting lost, and it's true indeed. They said how big is it? As big as the state of freaking Crotona, Manhattan.
Yeah,
not Crotona.
Not Crotona.
Excuse me, you know what I'm trying to
say. I think it was as big as Central Park in Manhattan.
Manhattan. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
So my theory with
they've been all around the world though.
Yeah.
These underground cities and tunnels and all of that,
they're
all
everywhere.
around the world. And what we figured out, we
People are fascinated about things they just don't know about.
don't understand.
And it seems as though like we get in the buildings within these areas confused with lazy construction.
Yep, lazy construction, baby.
Somebody's gonna get in trouble with
Well,
those.
one of I looked at it. I looked at it like this, right? It was one of those videos I seen, and we actually gonna try to get the video so we can play it for y'all.
Just
right
so
now,
y'all know.
so y'all can see what we talking about. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, yo, this isn't an underground city. This isn't an underground tunnel. This is literally just lazy construction work where at this time where America was getting rebuilded from the Indian and Cowboys era to these cities and stuff like that. And 9 times out of 10 around the 1900s, this is when the mob, 1950s, this is when the mob is in power and they killing everybody, they extorting everybody. And around these construction sites, and I don't care if it was the Trump Tower being built, the mob was extorting all of these construction sites saying, hey, we want the contracts for these buildings and we want our guys working at these sites. Yeah. And what the city did, for them to cut down the bloodshed, they gave the mob these constructions. And so when you got the mob handling the construction for these buildings, you got regular guys, you got gamblers, you got thugs, you got lowlifes, you got them all. Yes. Criminals. And with a criminal gonna find the easiest way to make the most money. And what's not easy, like keeping up, if we don't gotta knock all this builder down, we could just rebuild on it and keep that little there. Mm-hmm. We gonna do that. Because ain't nobody gonna come down here and check because they can't.
Just little people that like pointing out cameras and finding something to talk about.
Exactly.
We don't want people to get tricked about every conspiracy that they see.
Yeah, we can't make everything a conspiracy. That's our goal with that one right there. Yes.
Use your brain sometimes because everything can be like ooh ah, but at this point, what's real? We're not falling for just anything.
Yeah, we seen the dude. He made why we decided to touch on this anyways was because of this one video, and I hope we do find it. But this dude, he went there. He was a young YouTuber, and in my mind, I'm looking at it like, yo, this could have been our son, who want to be a YouTuber like his mommy and daddy, and say, hey, I'm gonna go here and see. You could get hurt.
He got in trouble.
He got in trouble, but you could get hurt.
Yeah, that's foolishness to me.
You don't know what's down there.
Especially if you're a child. I thought you got no equipment. You don't know what's down there, what's going on. And if it really was a tunnel where these things were happening, why would you want to go there?
Exactly. And you can't protect yourself from some things you really don't want to see.
People putting things on the web and it just becomes too much at this point. Like, what are we doing? We sending
people in wild goose. Yeah. We sending people to their death.
Just for our entertainment now. Like, we can't be that much of those kind of people to persuade things like we're.
Yeah, we gotta do our due diligence, man. If y'all call us on the underground tunnel or something, you go there and you make sure it's that before you make a video. Because now we just making content, you know? And you could get somebody hurt. Yes, you will get arrested and you will get somebody hurt.
People, man.
All right.
For the clout.
All right, anything for the clout. All right, so topic number 3 to close it out.
Yeah, guys.
We talking about these bees,
because another conspiracy that came up on our agenda was the fog, right? Mm-hmm. The fog that was coming up mainly on the west side because we didn't get that.
Yeah, we didn't get it on the East Coast. Well, not in New York.
Yeah, not in New York at all. So apparently this fog kept appearing a couple weeks back, and that's what things do. It takes time. People not thinking about nothing. Mm-hmm. So